Good morning, brothers and sisters. It is 8:03 a.m. Central Standard Time on March 30th, 2022. Hope our Creator is keeping you well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button, share this across other platforms so we can bring awareness to what's going on with our solar weather. And if you're new, please subscribe. Brothers and sisters, I have gotten another strike on my main channel. They don't like me so much over there. They don't like truth bombs. So we're just going to get to the solar weather. It is what it is. So we're going to come on down here, and as you can see from our sun today, wow, it has not settled down. We are still living in C class. Looks like we dropped down into the upper B just for a moment. But one of the things that's really nice when you come to this channel, this actually is on solar flares. When you actually come here, there's the home page, but you come over here to solar flares, and this is what we're looking at here. It also lets you know what the most recent thing that's going on. So the most recent flare was a C6. And then it kind of gives you a little latest updates within the last couple of days. March 28th, we had that M4. Then you go to the next one, it lets you know about an M1.4. It kind of keeps you up with it, lets you know that, on the 29th, 2 coronal mass ejections, G3 storm watch. That's coming. So, yeah. As you can tell from our our star, well, what do you think, Steve?
See how it keeps winding me up? It's getting really, really grumpy.
Yeah, I agree, Steve. The sun is getting really grumpy. It's lining us all up. That was Steve Irwin, by the way. Remember, Steve. Love you, Steve. Thank you. So yeah, we've had a lot of flares. We actually had an M flare right at the end of the day, UTC time, M1.68. But that's actually not what I'm actually coming on about. Not only did we have all this overnight, but we actually had us a decent sized coronal mass ejection, and it's coming at us, and it's not from a usual place. It's actually kind of funky. I've never really seen one do this. But let's jump over to spaceweather.com real quick, see what they got going on, what they're going to have to tell us today. And what they have to say is that strong G3 class geomagnetic storms are possible during the early universal time hours on March 31st, which I've already agreed with, around 3 o'clock in the morning, I think it was. Let's see, when a cannibal CME, which we know about, is expected to hit Earth's magnetic field. During such storms, naked eye auroras can be seen in the U.S. as far south as Illinois and Oregon. So that would be nice. So if you happen to live north, along Illinois and north, keep your eyeballs peeled. You guys will be able to see an aurora if you're in a nice, clear, dark area. If you're in the city, if you're in Chicago, you ain't going to see jack squat. You got to have a nice, dark skies. All right? On March 28th, sunspot 2975 unleashed a frenzy of solar flares, more than 17 in all. So there's that 17 again. There were 11 C-class, 6 M flares. Let's see, we've gone into that. We got the halo, full halo, and then the other one. Yep. Let's come on down here. First CME produced an M4, which we know about. M1, we talked about. Okay, yeah, here we go. The M4 departed the sun traveling at 1,259 kilometers per second. The second CME was produced by an M1 class flare at 1,923, and it departed even faster, running at 1,700 kilometers per second. Okay, so a lot of people think, oh no, that means that the second one was more powerful than the first one. Well, no, actually that's not true. There was just more air behind it, if you will, more oomph, more punch. But the one that's moving at 1,259 kilometers a second was heavier. There was more density in the first one. So when the second one caught up to it, it just added to it, making it more dense. So the first one was the most dense. So that's more of a harder hit by Mike Tyson, where this one's just more like a quick jab. This would be a quick jab. This would be a harder punch. Does that make sense? So yeah, and so the quicker jab obviously would catch up to the harder punch. So when that actually comes upon us, it's actually going to speed the 1259 up. So you kind of do like a mix in the middle. So probably around 1,400, maybe around 1,450 kilometers per second. It'll adjust the time on it for sure. No computer model. It's just the second CME will overtake the first one. Of course, we already know that, and we know that it's going to arrive at 0300 on March 31st, according to NOAA's prediction. Cannibal CMEs are fast coronal mass ejections that sweep up slower CMEs in front of them. Yep, we pretty much just got done talking about that. If the NOAA model is correct, the density of the solar wind plasma around Earth could increase tenfold when the CME arrives. That's going to be pretty powerful, folks. The solar wind speed will top 600 kilometers per second. These events would set the stage for G2 and G3 geomagnetic storms. Now, once again, you can always click on these. If you guys come here to Space Weather, you can click on it and it lets you know what's going to happen. Voltage corrections may be required. False alarms triggered on some protection devices. Surface charging may occur on satellite components. Drag may increase on lower Earth orbit satellites. Look out, Starlink. And corrections may be needed for orientation problems. Okay, so we could wind up having low frequency radio navigation, so your GPS could be off a little bit. Voltage corrections may be required. That should pretty much tell you guys a lot, though. A lot of people don't really know what that means. We could wind up having transformer issues. Let's see. Let's come on over here to G2. We'll touch on G2 real quick just for a second. See, high latitude power system may experience voltage alarms. Long duration storms may cause transformer damage. That's long duration of a G2. We're going to be getting a G3. So keep that in mind. All right. Now we can actually jump off of this, and we're going to come. Is it this one? Nope, not this one yet. We're going to come over here first. Sorry about that. We're going to come over here, and they do let you know about the here on Space Weather Prediction Center. They let you know about the different levels as well, which is pretty nice of them. But we're going to come on down here first, and right now our KP index, we're not getting any impact at the moment. Oh, hey, where did it go? Ah, see that? Yeah, we got that coming at us. Oh, hold on a second. Here we are, and here we're looking at our KP index. Looks like on March 31st, between 0, basically midnight, and 3 a.m., we're looking at a KP index of 7, G3, and then we got G2, G1, and then G1 and G2 for April 1st. April Fools. Huh. Interesting. So, yeah, we're definitely going to be having some serious storms here tomorrow and into the beginning of the 1st. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting little ride, isn't it? Let's go ahead and take a little mosey on down here. Our Ace Mag and Sweep Ham, we're doing okay there. But let's keep on coming down and see what our absorption is. Now, don't forget our absorption chart. This is a consistent state of flare, really. That's where we're living. We're living a constant state of flare. Once you're getting into C, it just pretty much stays on. So we are absorbing a lot of energy from the sun at the moment, consistently, nonstop, all day, every day. We can see all the little pops. Now, if you noticed from the other day, the stuff from the North and South Pole is gone, right? It's because the protons finally, they got towards the end of it, riding down that geomagnetic line. Got a special little treat for you guys over here at LASCO C2 and 3. This is LASCO C2, this is LASCO C3. Let's take a look at LASCO C2. First off, look at this. Last night, 1812 UTC time for 2 frames. Do you guys see how the left side of the screen kind of moves, but the right side doesn't? For 2 frames, and then it's gone. That's pretty interesting there, don't you think? What were they hiding? Projecting that light. But anyways, we're gonna get up to this explosion. Oh, you guys see that right there? Look to the left. Look to the left in the sunshine. The sunshine right over here. Look at that. You see that? Yeah, they're bending light again. So, but watch this explosion. Oh, look, a warp signature trail. Zoom. He's out of there. He's at warp speed, Scotty, or whatever who's ever at the helm. Oh, quite a good distance to jump there. Look at that, from 4 to 612. 2 hours and 12 minutes of, well, actually just 12 hours of missing data, or 2 hours of missing data. Where'd it go? But look at this. Boom. That is a flare. Oh, what is this? Hello there, friend. You ain't no planet. This is a planet way over here, which is further away. You can see how small the sun is versus this one. So, what is that? I don't know. You tell me. That is a pretty large flare, or actually a coronal mass ejection. That is a large halo. But the question is it coming at Earth? It looks to be like it might be, right? Well, let's come over and look at LASCO C3. Let's kind of, Borg cube. There's one there. I didn't want to do that. Oh, dang it. Sorry about that. And as we advance further, Let's see if we can... Uh-oh, there's another Borg cube. God dang, boy, they're really active today, ain't they? Uh-oh, how you doing? It's always nice to see them when they kind of do that, isn't it? So let's get to that eruption. There's that eruption there. That's about as far as we're going to get with it. It looks like it's coming at us, doesn't it? But is it? According to Enlil, that explosion... Now, Enlil, Anunnaki, God, like, yes, that Enlil, it's going off the backside of the sun. Now, we're over here, mind you, so it looked like it was coming right at us. But it looks like it's, according to Enlil, it's going away from us. We might have to go check out the SDO. As we come over here to the SDO and we look at 94 angstroms, that explosion happened right around 5 in the morning. But here, you don't really see much of any flare around 5 in the morning at all. But I do see something right in this region, which would mean it's around this coronal hole. Okay? Now that's the thing that I'm speaking about here. So let's take a look over here at 193 angstroms of light real quick. But as we take a look at it here with the 193 angstroms of light, let's take a look here where our coronal hole is. And as we're watching, watch right along here. You actually see an eruption here. You see a filament release. You see that there? See that movement? And it kind of affects, and it kind of has an effect, and this kind of goes off a little bit. So that makes me think that that's coming in our direction when we look at it that way. But it doesn't look like it's major, like a major... I mean, I don't see any solar tsunami. I mean, there's a slight movements, but not any kind of a solar tsunami. Now, you can see the movement on the backside, but when we take a look at Enlil, it's going off the backside. So, I'll be honest, this one's kind of a hard one to really judge, folks. Because I see that one, and then when we come over here to the 304, you do see a little bit of plasma on it. There's a little bit. Let's kind of zoom in on this, but let's see, it should be right around... Now, right here, this is where I'm seeing that release. You see that? See that filament release? That's where I'm seeing that filament release right there. It's right in this area, and of course they're covering it up with bands, but you can see the whoop. You see the filament release there, and then of course there was a little bit right up here. So I don't know, folks. That could be coming at us. I mean, for sure that is, but I'm not so sure about this. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So, yippee-ki-yay to that, right? It's kind of confusing. We'll have to give this another 6 to 8 hours to find out, let all the models kind of catch up to figure out what's happening here. Make sure to keep your eyes open, folks. No fear. Remember that love is the only way forward. Solar Wolf out.